Welcome to Brightside today on 10 Tampa Bay. I'm Adaure Achumba. This is Nightside on 10 Tampa Bay. I'm Adaure Achumba. As votes are being counted in close races, CBS News predicts the House will lean toward Republican control, while control of the Senate is still a toss-up. Nearly a week since 2022 midterm elections, and results are still coming in. And now the balance of power, though, in Washington is becoming a little bit clearer. Experts say our area could be the difference maker in this election. Now, we've seen a slew of candidates across the Tampa Bay area this week. Just today, Democratic candidates courted voters in Hillsborough County and Manatee counties. 10 Tampa Bay's Shannon Clough was there as the governor made his pitch for another 4 years. Tonight, a former math teacher in Haines City is behind bars accused of having sexual contact with a student. Detectives arrested Jeremiah Stringer just hours ago. Health officials are warning multiple respiratory illnesses are already on the rise compared to previous years. And this holiday season, doctors worry those sicknesses like RSV will continue to spike. This Veterans Day, some are spending the day together, cleaning up and rebuilding the post where they would normally be, cooking out, enjoying a beer, and celebrating each other and their service to our country. A push this evening to counter the rising cost of rent in the Bay Area. St. Pete City Council members vote unanimously to approve a new tenant protection ordinance. And Tyler Moore, 10 Tampa Bay's meteorologist, joins us here. Tyler, tell me you have a dog.
I do have a dog.
You do?
Yes.
And that leaves me out then, because I don't have a dog.
You know, I never really dress my dog up.
You know, I do want a dog, but
yeah,
it's just one of those things I've just never gotten around to.
It's a big commitment.
It's almost time to fall back. We turn our clocks back 1 hour Sunday to end daylight saving time. And every time we ask, why are we still doing this? Especially after we passed the Sunshine Protection Act in 2018. Now, if you haven't already bought a Powerball ticket, you may want to get into a store today. The jackpot just rose to the highest price ever offered by the U.S. lottery, $1.6 billion. And that's, of course, if you opt for an annuity paid out annually over 29 years. But if you decide to take the cash option, like most people will do, you could end up with more than $782 million. The drawing is tonight at 10:59 p.m. You have until an hour before the drawing to buy a ticket. Now, the aviation company was paid more than $1 million for several migrant flights. Right now, State Senator Jason Pizzo is fighting to stop them. He's asking a judge to stop the flights altogether from happening. He argues that the funds haven't been used correctly. And that's all we have for you on Nightside. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you again tomorrow. And that does it for us here on Brightside. We'll see you back here tonight at 6. I'm Adaure Achumba. Have a good one. Here in Sarasota County, lawyers for the Laundrie family filed a motion Monday. They're trying to block a letter written to Brian Laundrie by his mom, Roberta, from being entered as evidence. We have been out here all day looking to see if there's any possibility of law enforcement activity here. So far, we haven't seen any, as the FBI and the local police, as you said, continue searching for Brian Laundrie over at the Carlton Reserve. Lawyers for the Sarasota Herald Tribune and the Sarasota County Sheriff's Office laid their cases before a judge this afternoon. Now, the hearing today was in relation to that April 1st incident, the shooting incident of a 65-year-old black man named Jeremiah Evans. I'm here at the Humphreys Park at the South Jetty in Venice, and as you can see behind me, some typical conditions when you have a storm like this one. Significant ocean swell and large waves crashing onto the shore. Around 150 volunteers are in this Englewood neighborhood in Sarasota County. They're helping pull out debris from homes, much of which has developed toxic black mold. And right over here at this one home, they're helping repair the roof. Some residents here in this Englewood neighborhood say they're upset not only because of the smell, but the unsightliness of this mountain of vegetative debris dumped right across the street from them. You can still see the crime scene tape left behind from that day. Police say the victims were inside, but were able to escape shortly after the suspects set the house on fire. The officer's body camera video not only shows you the incident from the officer's point of view, you also get to hear the impact and another officer coming to help him.
10 Tampa Bay's Adaure Achumba joins us now from Venice Municipal Airport, where that plane took off. Adaure, you have learned some new information this evening.
That's right. I'm actually at Hygo Park in Venice, and happening behind me, that wreckage of the plane has just arrived at the boat ramp here. I'm going to step out of the frame so you can see what's going on. Company representatives tell us that they're planning to bring in those heavy equipment, including what they call a sidewinder. It's sort of like a crane that would help lift up that propane tank and the other cars back on the upright side and set them on the track. Now, they tell us again that the tank is secure because it is a double tank and there are no leaks right now, but concerned folks in this area say they're not surprised this happened. Northport police tell me as the city was hunkering down for that Category 4 storm on September 26th, a daughter came home and found her mother dead. Health officials here in Sarasota County lifted the no swim advisory for Bird Key Park Beach. And take a look at this for a second. We have a dead sea trout, a blowfish, catfish, and this is some scene that you see all over the place. Now, this is an example of why we tell you that red tide is still very much present here, even though in moderate levels now, which is quite an improvement.
10 Tampa Bay's Adaure Achumba joins us now with more on the familiar sights, sounds, and smells of the county fair. Adaure, I did not expect this. You surprised me.
Guys, look, if this was a Wednesday, imagine all the hump day jokes will be able to sneak into the newscast. Up my friend here, Skittles. You've already gone to the beach and you want to do something else, you can head on over here to the county fair. These are my friends here, my new friends here, Diamond, Sparkle, and Pasha, and Sapphire, and he kind of bites. I'm going to step away a little bit. But again, it is the last full weekend of the Sarasota County Fair. They have more than 50 rides here.
Investigators are back at the reserve today. What are they still looking for?
We have seen investigative teams go in and out of the park. You can see one of them standing by here at the entrance of the park. And the teams include from the FBI, the Northport Police Department, as well as the Pasco County Sheriff's. Sarasota Memorial Hospital and Baycare Health Systems are the latest to join the list of healthcare facilities going with the federal directive. Now, they are now requiring all their health employees and contractors to be vaccinated. The judge pushed back the trial date for the case from August 2023 to May 2024 after deliberating with all the lawyers involved. Now, lawyers for the Laundrie family and Steve Bertolino were in court, while the lawyer for Petito's family and all the clients appeared via video conference. Now, we spoke to Matt Luca, representing Chris and Roberta Laundrie, to get an insight into what's at issue ahead of the trial.
The one significant issue that we've had in this case is we really have not been able to take a lot of discovery, meaning depositions of the witnesses, even uncovering who the witnesses might be beyond our own clients.
At the case management hearing in Venice, all the lawyers agreed not changing the trial date would be ambitious, as they still needed more time for fact-finding to build up their case. Pat Riley, representing Joseph Petito and Nicole Schmidt, Gabby Petito's parents, filed a FOIA request to the FBI for information law enforcement gathered during the criminal investigation of Brian Laundrie.
Without the FOIA request and kind of knowing all of the issues that there might be, without taking the depositions of the fact witnesses and trying to understand why they did or didn't do certain things, it's hard to sort of say what expert may or may not be necessary.
Along with a new trial date, the judge set dates for jury selection and hearing or dismissing other motions involved in this case, including a motion for a protective order over the letter Mrs. Laundrie wrote to her son Brian. Luca and the Laundries want to prevent the letter from being included as evidence because they say the letter was written before Brian and Gabby even took their trip and has no relevance to the cause of action.
There definitely hasn't been a judicial determination as to, when the letter was created, but our position is that it was created before Roberta Laundrie authored the letter, and so she knows when she wrote it. And she's filed an affidavit to that effect.
In that affidavit, Mrs. Laundrie explained that her quote, "burn after reading," found on the envelope of the letter to Brian was in reference to a book, Burn After Writing, which she said Gabby had given to Brian. She added that the letter was already with the FBI, found amongst Brian's belongings at the home or in the car before his body was found in mid-October 2021. In studio, Adaure Achumba, 10 Tampa Bay.
Okay, Adaure.
The goal of the appeal to get the book out of school libraries failed, but the outcome of the more than 2-hour-long meeting is that middle school students will now need parental consent to check the book out.
This is healthy discussion about what's appropriate in our school districts.
The book stamped Racism, Anti-Racism, and You by Ibram Kendi and Jason Reynolds is not part of school curriculum. Still, this mom voiced concerns about the book in middle school libraries because she says it promotes critical race theory.
This is about understanding the impact within our society, within our children, within their interaction, and also their emotional well-being to take that information in.
Following heated discourse by parents and students,
I think it's ridiculous for stamp to be banned, considering the reason racism. You want to ban a book saying racism isn't right, and your reason is that this book is racist?
To flourish in our world, students require broad educational opportunities that shouldn't be stifled.
as well as community activists and board members.
One parent's decision should not supersede another parent's decision. I've always said that. And then yet we have the ultimate responsibility of towing that line and putting guardrails in place.
And a review process that cost the school district more than $20,000. Students in middle school will now need their parents' consent to check out the book.
That it's impactful not just at Venice Middle School, it'd be impactful at Pineview, it's impactful all the way across the board no matter where you're at.
And the exclusion to this new policy for the book is that high school students will not need parental consent or parental notification to check the book out of the library. In Sarasota, Adaure Achumba, 10 Tampa Bay. Some residents here in this Englewood neighborhood say they're upset not only because of the smell, but the unsightliness of this mountain of vegetative debris dumped right across the street from them. They also say that they are concerned about endangered gopher tortoise burrows that are possibly buried underneath it all.
Bucking Field is a gopher tortoise sanctuary and a skipjaay bird sanctuary, among other things.
Timothy Durning and some of his neighbors say when the county began turning the Buchan Airfield into a debris field, they didn't expect this. Durning also says it's put the gopher tortoise population there at risk.
That's a gopher tortoise sanctuary right there. And what they did was they put a perimeter around it so the gopher tortoises starve. So I've got dead gopher tortoises on my land from them starving them out.
County officials say the airfield is vital to manage and process vegetative debris removed from right-of-way in hurricane-impacted areas. Now, looking at this, are you concerned that there are some tortoises burrowed under there?
Burrowed under there? No. I've never seen one digging out in this area.
Sherry Kerbel says at first the site was a concern for her, but after seeing all the trees damaged by the hurricane, the need outweighs her neighbors' complaints.
I'm sure if a truck driver saw one, he's going to let somebody know because they were instructed in certain areas not to park.
A Sarasota County spokesperson said the site is actively monitored by the Fish and Wildlife Commission's certified gopher tortoise agent and other state and federal representatives. There have been no reports of impacts to any of the tortoises or their burrows.
There's nothing we can do about it because it's a state of emergency, and I guess they got, they trump everything.
In Englewood, Adaure Achumba, 10 Tampa Bay.